All right, it's 2022. We're in a brand new year. Now that we're in this new year, and we've got a fresh, clean slate ahead of us, I wanted to sit down and just go over some of the different trends that I think are gonna come through this year. But before we get into it, be sure to please head to my YouTube channel and hit that like button for this video and hit the subscribe button so you can get more like this in the future. So coming out of 2021, heading into 2022, obviously we just talked about some big takeaways in our recap from 2021. But that being said, I think that we're gonna see a lot of similar trends through the end of 2021 coming into 2022. The biggest trend that we've noticed is high demand, which is continuing to rise, and low inventory, which is continuing to shrink. And as that happens, the market is gonna get tighter and tighter and tighter. And that's been the story of COVID, honestly. And that's something that I think that we're gonna also see throughout the rest of 2022 this year. When talking about demand, the other piece that I always like to bring up is the fact that the consumer has so much more money right now, or access to money, that it is driving up demand along with low interest rates. So now shifting gears as we go into 2022, looking forward, do I think it's a good time to buy? I don't know, it depends on your situation. If you're buying a house right now or planning to buy a house and your financial situation makes sense and you have a lifestyle situation that you really want to achieve by getting into a new home, I think it could be a good time to do that. So even with the rapid rate that prices have been rising in the last year or values have been growing, we actually saw that in August 2020 to August 2021, there was 20% growth in the market. Do I think that's sustainable? No. But that being said, even if it's at 10% or 12%, it's still gonna keep going up like this. If you're waiting for prices to drop, I don't know if we're gonna see prices drop to 2017 or 2018 prices. I wouldn't recommend depending on prices getting ready to drop if no one knows if that's gonna happen. Now, on the flip side, for sellers, obviously we talk about prices continuing to rise. If the market conditions were to ever change, you don't wanna get caught trying to sell a house in a bad market. Again, I don't have a crystal ball, so I can't say whether or not now is a better time to sell versus in March or May or September of 2022. But what I always tell people is that if the situation makes sense for you, it's the right time to do it. So even though I don't have a crystal ball on what's gonna happen in the market, one of the biggest changes that I do know was the conventional loan limit just got raised by 18% to $647,200. This is a huge deal because you're gonna be able to get a lot larger loan without having to go into jumbo. If you don't know what that means, going from a conventional to a jumbo loan, I did do a reel recently explaining that, so go check that out. Current predictions that I have for 2022 are that I don't think we're gonna see prices rising as rapidly as we did in 2021. We sat here a year ago at the end of 2020 and talked about what we expected for 2021. And I remember specifically saying that we didn't think prices were going to rise as fast in 2021 as in 2020. But what will happen is you're gonna start seeing the media saying that the real estate market is slowing down. I don't think that that's actually gonna happen. I think what's gonna happen is home value growth will maybe slow from going like this to like this. So we'll go from 20% growth to maybe 9, 10, 11% growth. The market will still continue to appreciate and go upwards or trend upwards without having the insanely fast rates of growth that we saw in 2021. But again, we may be sitting at the end of 2022 and saying the same exact thing with another year of 20% growth. With interest rates staying low and demand staying high, it's very feasible. On the note of growth in 2022, one of the big key indicators is gonna be interest rates and what the Fed does with the interest rates. Are they gonna raise them? Are they gonna lower them? Or are they gonna keep them the same? Indications are showing that they're gonna have them stay about the same. I don't think that they're gonna be dropping to what we saw in 2021 at some of the most historic lows we've ever had, but I also don't think that they're gonna be raising them to a point that housing is gonna become unaffordable this year. And so because of that, I think that the market is still gonna be very bullish in 2022. So if interest rates stay low and demand does stay high, which I think will happen, the meat of the market here in Charlotte is around that $500,000 price point. Now, what I saw recently is that everything under 500,000, the inventory rates dropped by 48% in the last year in Charlotte. Now, what that means is there is like no inventory. I think that's gonna continue just because of the fact that people are doing everything they can to get a house. And as someone who's in the field every day, working on transactions, submitting offers, closing deals every day, we are seeing this on a day-to-day basis. We're seeing buyers go up against multiple offers on every offer. They're going incredibly strong on their offers. They're doing everything they can for a house. I started joking later in 2021 that buyers, it was like going to the bar. You order a drink at the bar, they don't know how to make it. So you order a different drink, they still don't know how to make that. So you just ask them for a damn beer because you just want to get a drink and get out of there. And that's what people are starting to do with houses. They're just buying these houses, a lot are sight unseen. They just want to have a house because they understand that it's a very sound investment strategy, and they now can see that the market is so fast paced that they have to move quickly in order to get a house, and they have to be able to just pull the trigger on something to be able to get into something that they want. So because the market was so crazy, buyers would traditionally, if they keep losing out on multiple offers on a resale home or a house that's older, maybe they'll be okay with going an extra 10 minutes in their commute and going and getting a brand new house. What we saw because of lumber costs and the rates of the expenses for materials for builders, because that went through the roof in 2021, builders were slowing down on selling these homes so they could keep up with the market on their materials and then the market on the sale of the home so that their margins don't get too tight. Buying new construction has gotten a lot harder. I've seen a lot of projections that the lumber rates are going to continue to rise in 2022. And if that happens, it means it's going to be just as hard getting a new construction house as it is getting a resale home. And it also means that building a home custom or doing a rehab yourself is going to get a lot more expensive. So you really need to make sure you partner with the right people and that you can find the right opportunities in order to make these goals or achievements or dreams come true, because it is going to get a lot more expensive to do that. So all of that being said, 2022 is going to shape up, hopefully, to be a really good year. And it's going to be a very busy year. With all these things talking about inflation and rates going up or inventory going down and demand going up, it all sounds kind of scary. What you need to know is that everyone working in this real estate industry, whether it's lenders, attorneys, realtors, all of us, our goal is to get you into these homes. Our goal is to be able to help you achieve your home ownership dream. Whether it's buying a house, buying your first home, buying an investment property, buying a second vacation home, or on the flip side, if it's selling a home or selling a house and buying another house. Whatever your strategy or your goal is when you're trying to buy or sell real estate, even in this crazy market, our goal is to be able to help you. So 2022 is going to be a wild year. It's going to be super busy in the real estate world, but we're going to do everything we can to make it fun. So let's go sell some houses.